Kids who get outside more often are happier and healthier, and we hope to help to create the next generation of environmentalists, conservationists, and outdoor recreators. I've got Crystal Madrano from my team here as well. She is our communications associate, and we're both available to you at any time that you need us as partners in the Youth and Outdoors movement. There's a staff page at goco.org/staff where you can read all about our staff members, including the communications team, which also includes Wilder, our half goat, half Yeti mascot. And we also have on the phone with us here today, in addition to some of our colleagues from GoCo, and of course you partners that we're so glad could make it today, we have Leanne Bauer, who is our account supervisor from Sukkel Advertising. And Sukkel Advertising is an advertising firm that's based in Denver and has been a partner helping us to build the Generation Wild brand and the communications campaign over these past, what will be our 6th year in market. So welcome to everybody who was able to join. We'll be sharing out the recorded link after the webinar in case you have colleagues you'd like to pass it along to. But the purpose of today is really to give you a snapshot of what our summer season campaign will look like, because of course we're always so grateful for you to be ambassadors of the movement as our important partners. So to get started, I think I'd just take a quick walk down memory lane and walk you through what the campaign has looked like over these past 5 years. So you can have a sense of how our messaging has evolved in support of the movement. So I mentioned that in 2015, we rolled out the strategic plan here at GoCo with Inspire Initiative, the predecessor to Generation Wild, at the heart of it. 2 years later, in 2017, we had done research and strategy work around the communications side of the effort, so that we could launch into Colorado's market during the summer season. And even though Generation Wild is a year-round campaign, summer, of course, is our most important because just as you all know from being very busy right now, this is a time of year that we have great opportunity to get Colorado kids and families outdoors more. We launched in 2017 a brand new brand under the Generation Wild umbrella. So it hadn't existed before. We had to do in launching a movement, had to do quite a bit of work to build brand awareness for Generation Wild, and also wanted to produce for parents based on the research work we had done in the past year before it. Lots of ideas and inspiration, new tips for getting kids outside that would be easy to execute, that would be, kind of in your back pocket type ideas. And so we launched the 100 things to do before your 12 list in English and Spanish, and produced a bunch of creative assets, ads and videos and all kinds of content in support of that list. We also sent hundreds of thousands of, well, I think back then it was 150,000 lists maybe is what we were sending per year out to libraries statewide, to park and rec centers, to boys and girls clubs, all of them in the state. So we were trying to, in an awareness driving year, push this content out to as many corners of Colorado as we could by way of an amazing partner network. And we saw great success with that. We saw roughly 70% awareness rate after one season in market. So 70% of moms surveyed were able to say, I know what Generation Wild is, which is pretty impressive and probably about 3 times more than we thought it was going to be. So it was a great year out of the gate. In 2018, in the summer season, we rolled out a campaign that was really exploring the ideas of barriers to getting kids outside more often. So we didn't want to judge parents. They made it clear from the beginning, parents, grandparents, other caregivers, that they didn't want to feel like they were doing not enough in their already busy lives, and that getting outside was just going to be another checkbox in the list of things they either were or weren't doing right. So we did this very carefully. We teased this idea that we live in an era where there is a culture of overprotection, where there is a culture of some kids being overscheduled in their lives. And in order to sort of change the narrative and not make it judgmental, we talked about all of the benefits of unstructured outdoor play. In 2019, we went straight for the heart. We rolled Wilder out. So Wilder is our part. So you can kind of think of 2018 as the brain year. And in 2019, we pivoted to a heart year, where we said we want to take this mascot, for this symbol for outdoor play and imagination and creativity, spark curiosity around Generation Wild, and tap into the nostalgia that we had heard from a lot of parents and grandparents and others that was so important to them, that they remembered their own experiences playing in the outdoors as kids, and that they wanted to have raise a generation of children that had the same sort of uplifting experience. So we rolled out Wilder by way of a movie that you can always go back and see at generationwild.com. If you click on the Meet Wilder button, we told ourselves that we were going to measure our success for that year's campaign in number of grown adults we could make cry, and that we should have had Kleenex as a sponsor, because we had a lot of really positive sentiment and engagement that year by way of Wilder. Then in 2020, we were just about to roll out a new campaign strategy when the pandemic hit. And like everybody else, we had to rethink sort of what our message was going to be and how we were going to lift spirits, promote healing, bring back those benefits of unstructured outdoor play. And we did that in a variety of ways. One way that was very successful was an event that we had called Ring in Summer. And it was on a particular day in May 29th, we had Coloradans across the state ring bells to celebrate the end of the school year, that families had made it through a very tricky school year, balancing all kinds of new pressures in their life as a result of the pandemic. And it was just a nice way to start a summer season campaign that focused on ways to get outside as close to home as your backyard, that could be safe, but also give everybody that much needed reprieve from the stressful situation of the pandemic. And then in 2021, we focused on mental health. So we were still in the pandemic. We still are today, unfortunately. And we wanted to focus on mental health in particular, because we knew that, we were seeing so many negative trends around how all people, including children, were feeling. And so we provided 20 ideas for 20 minutes outside, almost as a reboot of the 100 Things to Do list, but had an amazing partnership with Children's Hospital of Colorado and their pediatric psychologists to roll out a concept that would support parents, not in drilling necessarily home all of the benefits of outdoor play from a mental health perspective, but give calm and reassuring reminders. And now here we are in 2022, and we have another exciting campaign season to look forward to. I'm going to hand it over to Leanne to chat you through what it looks like. And before we do that, does anybody have any questions? And you can always add a question to the chat or email me at rdempsey@goco.org. All right, we'll keep moving along then.
All right, sounds good. So thanks, Rosemary. So yeah, we are launching our new summer campaign. Technically, it actually launched on the 16th, so we are in the throes already. So as we started thinking about what we needed to do for our community this year, from our research last year, parents told us that they want to be inspired, they need ideas, and they want to see the campaign everywhere. So yeah, that's great that you guys are out there doing this, but we know we're supposed to be doing it, but it's hard. We need more ideas and we need more inspiration. So it's less about education now and more about action. So this summer, we're going to give them 99 days of nonstop inspiration and ideas. All right, so as the story goes, on Memorial Day, which is coming up here this Monday, Wilder is going to take a road trip. So between Memorial Day and Labor Day, he's going to explore all of Colorado, going to make sure he's visiting various areas around the state, and helping take families along with him. And when we say take families along with him, you'll see there's a lot of different ways families can participate, both digitally, by following along and getting the ideas and inspiration, but also some in person as well. So as I mentioned, a lot of this is social, and we know that's where a lot of our moms are, our parents are. So we want to be there providing them ongoing ideas and inspiration throughout the summer, throughout all 99 days, so that they can have that at their fingertips and a quick idea for getting outside. So we launched the campaign on the 16th. So that is our paid media push. We're getting people aware that Wilder's about to set out on his adventure. Again, on Monday, he's going to set out. And so we're telling families follow along on Facebook, Instagram, and on our website. And then, of course, at our events, come say hi in person. June 21st is Generation Wild Day. So not only is it the first day of summer, but it's also a big celebration day for us. Wilder is going to have some fun ideas to get kids and encourage them to spend time outside, and maybe a few surprise appearances that day. July 30th, we are going to do a world record attempt. Not just one world record, we're actually going to attempt 2 world records. And the fun thing about this is we're trying to find kind of a long-lasting experience that people can enjoy and encourage them to spend time outdoors. On Labor Day, the adventure comes to an end. So Wilder's gonna wrap up his trip. And then we're really hoping that on following Labor Day on the 10th, we have one final grand finale appearance at Red Rocks where we get Wilder up on stage with his friend Brandy Carlisle and get kind of that grand finale. And thank you to all the parents for helping get their kids outside all summer. So as a part of this campaign, we do have various elements that are going to bring it all together to make sure people can hear about this and can participate. So we have paid media. This is CTV, so we have streaming ads, we have digital display ads, and then of course paid social. That's just to get people to know what's going on that don't already follow us and follow along on your channels as well. We have our owned media. These are the things that we own and we can control on a day-to-day basis very easily. So that's our website, our social media pages, and then our partner newsletter. We do have a big earned media push. So we're going to talk about him getting into the market. We're going to talk about his send-off. And then of course, let the media know about all of our events. The events that we've already participated at, we had a day at the Capitol. We did Celebrate Colorado. And then we have Get Outdoors Day coming on June 4th. So hopefully we see you all in Colorado Springs. Wilder will be there. Generation Wild Day will follow June 21st, and then our world record attempt. And then finally, we have to have our branded materials. You know, these are the things that are on the ground. This is getting passed out by our partners at our events, et cetera. So we have postcards this year. We have stickers, t-shirts, and then of course we have our van that's going to be cruising around the state. All right, and of course in my flurry of sharing this, I'm just going to stop real quick and make sure I optimize my audio so that you can catch our TV spot. All right, so this is going to be the video that's airing through all of our paid channels. And the idea is just to get people excited and get them aware of what's going on and encouraged and motivated to get outside.
So
let me get back to that. I clicked too fast.
So, what'd you do today?
Nothing.
Where'd you go?
Nowhere.
Who's that?
No one.
99 days outdoors. It's gonna be a wilder summer.
Yeah, so just a fun spot that, you know, we think everyone can probably relate to, whether you're thinking of yourself at the dinner table as a child, or, you know, parents every day are having these conversations, but kids are outside having fun and, you know, still coming back to the dinner table and saying they didn't have anything. They didn't do anything that day. But as a part of the campaign, so this is out in the market right now. We're also doing some fun little around the state ding dongs, which is what we're calling it, where Wilder's going door to door and inviting kids outside. So we have some social media posts that are promoting that.
Hey, Leanne, I think maybe we're seeing, is anybody else seeing a dark box over the screen?
Oh, apologies. How's that?
Now we can see the top, but it's just, there we go. Oh, now it's back. I think anytime there's like a pop-up or something, it covers up that part of the screen.
All right. Thank you for bearing with me and letting me know. Let's just stop real quick and restart and look at that. Okay, that's good. How's that?
There we go. But there's just a tiny block at the top, but it's not obstructing the view. There we
All
go.
right, cool. All right. So we have these doorbell posts just, going around showing just a teaser that says, everybody come outside with us this summer. Yep. Let's see if this video will play. Apologies. There we go. Yeah, so just fun kind of getting people energized about getting outside. And then I mentioned Wilder's van. So he got a new wrap. So this is just a great way to get our message out. As you all probably know from your own experience, vehicle wraps work really, really well when you're trying to get awareness about a certain message or initiative, because they're basically mobile billboards. And we actually do use this to transport Wilder to all of our events. We'll have it obviously down at Colorado Springs, and then also go on the road trip, but just kind of a fun, fresh new look. We also partner with Volunteers of Colorado, outside Colorado. So they will also have the van at many events. So you'll see that throughout the summer. I mentioned we have some new postcards. So this is print collateral that we're distributing through our trusted partners, Boys and Girls Club, Denver Public Library, statewide libraries, our school districts. They're all handing out these postcards this year. We have over 78,000 in market right now. So on the back, some of them you can send out. All of them technically are good for sending, but some have games that kids can fill out too. So if they want to send it to a friend and fill out the games, they can, but just a fun way to engage kids. And it does encourage them to track their 99 days outside. These are an example of our animated digital ads. So just giving you an idea of what to look for when you're out in market this year. Got some static ads. And then these are native display. So a little bit more of an editorial look here. And then the kind of the big fun part that we really want you all to get involved in is our social posts. So we have 99 organic social posts starting to go live on Monday. We're covering all different types of topics, from pop culture to natural phenomena, stewardship, of course, different events, activities and ideas. And then we even have some places that we're highlighting around the state. So just kind of a fun look, making sure it's colorful and getting people excited, attracting their attention. Here's a fun example of one of our series. It's called What's Under the Rock. So we'll have a few different versions of this where we encourage people to kind of go check out what's under a rock and see if you see anything new.
What's under the rock? It's a snail.
So fun example. Obviously there'll be social copy that will accompany that. We also have a series that's going to highlight some of Wilder's favorite parks. So this is a really fun one, just to kind of highlight different fun parks that, whether GoCo's funded them or we feel like they're a fun attraction around the state. This one that I'm showing as an example right now is in Fort Collins. It's the Twin Silo Park. We'll have like a series of slides, so it shows kind of what's at that park, different fun things you can do there, other unique features of that park, and then some sort of a map that will help parents kind of get there and kind of identify where they want to go when they arrive. So just another thing that just makes it a little bit attainable, easy for parents to get kids outside. Here's some examples of our natural phenomena, making sure it's always easy and accessible for parents. So quickly, like if it's a full moon, go howl at the moon. That's a great way to get kids outside. You can pitch a tent, but you don't have to, hike up a mountain to do it. You can do it in your backyard. Those are the types of messages we want to encourage. I mentioned that we were going to do a little bit of a road trip. So we do want to highlight different areas around the state. There will be a little bit of marketing magic. I don't think we'll have Wilder at the top of a sand dune with a whole crew. I'm not sure that the national park would be super excited about that type of approach, but it is an idea of just highlighting different areas. And it's fun because, hopefully we should highlight some of people's backyards. So places that don't necessarily get as much attention, we can highlight. And so that's a fun moment for our audience to just have a connection with the brand. So here's just a few examples, but basically we're trying to cover the whole state. So making sure that we go to the highest point, the lowest point, all four corners. So that way we're really highlighting all the great opportunities to get outside in the state. As I mentioned, June 21st, we are going to celebrate Generation Wild Day. We're going to have Wilder pop up at one of his favorite parks, so he can just kind of do a surprise and delight, give out some high fives, take some photos, and of course we'll invite some local media to come celebrate with us. We have our world record attempt that I mentioned, so world's longest hopscotch. So that is 4.25 miles that we're going to accomplish. And this is where we really love to get your all help. What we're going to do is break out that 4.25 miles into quarter-mile sections and have different assigned groups own that section. Of course, we would supply all the materials, make sure you have water and have everything in place. But it's a fun way to get a small group together and build out that quarter-mile section. And then once it's all built later that day, we're going to invite out over 600 of our best friends and families to come do the hopscotch together to get that second world record of the most people playing hopscotch simultaneously. And then finally, I mentioned a great opportunity. What more Colorado is it than showing up at Red Rocks and have Wilder do a finale there, thanking all the parents for getting their kids outside all summer. So that's a lot of information. It's a pretty action-packed campaign, and there's a lot of ways that you all can get involved. Of course, we are only as good as our partners can help. We all have to contribute and help promote each other. And so we have some different areas where you can help spread the word. So of course, always welcome to reshare our posts and our content on your social medias. If you tag us in any of if you're doing something outside activity wise, if you tag us in it, we can add it to our stories. We're going to be really, really active on our social platforms this summer. Generation Wild has a Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, and YouTube channel. So those are the areas that we can engage. Of course, if you ever want to add any information, whether it's events or talk about the 99 days message or any of our imagery or links to our lists to your websites, let us know. We can certainly give you access to copy any sort of images. And of course, the lists are easy to access. You can do the same in your newsletters. If you need some additional content to share out to your audience in your monthly or weekly newsletters that you send out, you're welcome to share out any of our content promoting the 99 days or our lists. We'd love to see you at our events. So whether you're participating already or you haven't planned it yet, but we'd love to have a high five and help leverage each other at the events. And if you're interested in participating in the world record, whether helping build the hopscotch or just coming out as a group to help meet the large group of people, most people doing a hopscotch at once, give us a shout. We are looking for people to help with that and contribute. It all really does start with you all. So if we know that you all are going to bring 10, 20 people in your community, that'll help us get a really good grasp on how many more people we need to reach out to help meet this. It'll be a really fun message for all of our areas that all of our different platforms, from social to website to newsletters. It's just going to be a really, I think, vibrant opportunity. And the cool thing about the hopscotch is it'll stay on the Highline Canal where we're going to be doing it for a decent amount of time, like maybe a month. So it'll be an opportunity for people to go back that maybe missed it. So we're excited about that. And then finally, if you have any interest in helping distribute postcards or stickers to your audiences, let us know. We can make sure to get some in your hands.
Yeah, along those lines, we're going to be sending an email probably next week offering up all of the different resources, the print collateral, including the 100 things list, the 20 ideas list, and those postcards, as well as stickers and some kind of one-off items that we have in our stores from previous year's campaigns. So be on the lookout.
Yeah, and then we'll send out this deck to you all, but here's just some links that are easy resources for you. So we have a link to our landing page for the campaign, downloadable, GIFs or PDFs and JPEGs of ours for social posts or those postcards. And then I just put all the handles for our socials for quick reference. Cool, I'm gonna stop sharing. It looks like we have maybe some questions to run through.
I think we've got those questions covered off on. So yes, the Generation Wild website and the 99 Days Outdoors landing page that you can access from the website's header, from that homepage, will be a place where Wilders events will be updated regularly. So please be sure to check in there to see if there's an event coming up near you, or if you want to get in touch with us about an event in your community to see if we can work it into Wilder's schedule. We've still got maybe a couple of spots up in the air. He's a busy guy and has had a lot of requests over these past couple of years of the pandemic while he's been hibernating that we have to make up for. So a lot of activity happening there. And then, yeah, the hopscotch location is in the works, but likely here in the Denver metro area, just for activation and population density reasons. We love to get out across the state, of course. I would also just reinforce a couple of things. One thing is that on social media, our content will be produced in English and Spanish. And if you ever want to share the content out by way of a story, if you can @tag us, if you share our information in stories, wonderful. And this might be more pertinent to anybody you have on your marketing and communication side of things. But if you also just want to @tag us in activities related to getting kids outdoors that your organizations are doing, if you @tag Generation Wild Colorado, then we know to share your news to our stories as well. So it's kind of like a little heads up to us. If you @tag either Generation Wild Colorado or @Great Outdoors Colorado, we're going to be sharing your content so that it's reciprocal and so that we're making the most of all of this amazing work happening on the ground across the state's youth and outdoors movement. I would also say that some of our partners have gotten very creative with what partnership can look like exactly. So content sharing, by way of collateral or social media or web content is one really important mechanism for spreading the message out. But also, partners have come to us and said, we've got this particular program or activation or activity happening. How can we partner up? Or this objective that we hope to meet in our community? Is there any way that Generation Wild can get involved? And we've come up with creative solutions in the past with lots of different kinds of partners. So for example, in recent weeks, we've been working with the Nature Connection, which is a Generation Wild community out in Delta County, to come up with some concepts for their mural militia, a youth team of painters, to design a bus for their Wilder crew, which is their trail and stewardship group. So just such a cool opportunity to extend the brand out there to Delta County and surrounds, and to support the work of a partner there. And when we talk about partners with Generation Wild, it really does mean a lot of things. It can mean that your organization is part of one of the 12 Generation Wild coalitions or communities that are listed at generationwild.com/communities. Or it can be a mission-aligned, youth-serving organization that might not be part of a coalition, but is a part of the youth and outdoor movement in Colorado. So the Generation World Communications Campaign is really a way to invite in or bring in organizations across the state that have the same or similar missions as all of ours. So if there are other organizations that you'd like to connect with us for the sake of getting them into the partner network and getting their information on our website, we're always grateful for that. Any questions from the group that we haven't covered off on? It's hard to believe launch is just around the corner. We're really excited about it. Memorial Day to Labor Day is exactly 99 days, which makes it feel like summer isn't as fleeting maybe as it feels when you're in it. So we're just excited to get out there, and hope you love this year's campaign, and we'll circle back with you. We send roughly quarterly newsletters to the partner network to update you on what we're doing. But we love to see your faces and have a chance to connect like this. So hopefully we'll have a chance to reconnect after the summer season campaign and see how your own busy summers went and how you liked the campaign or didn't. Hopefully so. All right. Thank you so much for your time. Thanks to Leanne for presenting.
Sure.
We'll be in touch soon and we'll share the recording.
Awesome. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks a million. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.